If you have a dry pipeline, you are very unstable as a business. We were hiring people, and eventually, because I stopped acquisition, I was not signing clients for months. And that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made.
How do you balance out good delivery with still getting in clients?
It's systems for everything. One of the things that we did was defining clear responsibilities to each role, and then knowing what hats you like to wear, and then forcing yourself to do those, and then allowing other people to do the others. I knew that I like marketing, sales. I didn't like to be on the day-to-day. Now I know I shouldn't be focusing that much on the day-to-day, and I should leave Alex, that likes to be in the shadow, likes to take care of the day-to-day, to focus on those. I just hyper-focused on my clear responsibilities, and because I was finally focusing on acquisition, we were able to scale.
Okay, welcome everyone. This is Andrei for the second time. Can
Yeah.
you introduce yourself shortly and why people should listen to you?
Okay, so my name is Andrei. I'm from Romania. I'm 23 years old, and I run a 50K per month CRO agency, and I'm incredibly blessed. Today, I just want to share a fuckload of mistakes that we did when we started. And if you're into ecom, I think you're going to love this.
And also if you're not into ecom, because what we're
Yeah.
going to break down is his journey from an over-exaggerated freelancer from 0 to 10K, then from 10 to 20K, how it was to actually build a company, and then what it took to scale from 20 to 50K at where Andrei is right now. If you want to hear his entire backstory, don't worry, we have the first podcast already recorded when I was in Bali back then, but now we have way cooler light in the background.
Yeah.
So that's I think that helps a lot as well.
Yeah. Very
Well,
cool.
Let's start, because how old were you when you started in business? You were
I was like 17.
17?
So, yeah.
And then the first 0 to 10K. Take me along. What did it take to get there?
So, from a time-lapse perspective, it took me like 4 years to hit my, or even close to 4.5, almost 5, it took me to get to 10K a month. And this was when I was doing Google Ads. But like initially, I started doing everything on the planet that I just want to make money, pretty much at 17. Because I grew up in a poor family, and there were a lot of things, a lot of false beliefs, and it was incredibly hard to just try to grow from that pile of shit, like mentally, to overcome those beliefs in order to grow. So I believe that was the thing that kept me stuck for a couple of years in order to first reach my 10K.
And how did you start in general? Like, how was the first 1K? Because a lot of people just, they want to start and they want to go, and especially right now, because I think when you started when you were 17, or when I started when I was 20, so that's also already like 3 years ago, there was a lot less of the every guru is a millionaire, Andrew Tate was not even a thing online.
Yeah.
So how did you get to the first 1K?
Honestly, I haven't got to my first 1K until 2 years ago. So I was barely making money, and I was just working, gathering skills, but I didn't know how to monetize. And I didn't have the beliefs that I can make more than that. So my beliefs were that I'm not worthy to get to 1K. And then eventually, when something clicked, that I surrounded myself with other people that were making 3, 4, 5. Then I was like, if they do it, so then I can do it. So then eventually, what got me to my first 1K, honestly, was just not looking for a shiny object. I was doing 5 opportunities at one time, like doing trading and selling on Etsy, then going on Amazon, then trying Shopify dropshipping and all that stuff. And I just picked one thing that I liked, which was Google Ads at the time. And I just bought a course, or like more like a mentorship. And then I went hard on learning. And what got me to my first K was just posting on Twitter. I just saw a guy named Jackson Blackledge, and I just was like, he was like, I started posting 3 years ago, and my life has changed. And I was like, if he can do it, so do I. So then I just started taking heavy action on that, learning every day and just starting posting. And eventually, I got my first clients like that.
So they came in inbound.
Yeah, exactly. So what I learned, and this is a key thing for people that are trying to grow a company, inbounds are always going to be your best customers. It doesn't mean that you cannot scale with outbound. But what I understood is that it's better to work with people that want to come and work with you instead of you trying to persuade them and like reach out to them. They don't might not have that problem. It's a bit of a harder sales cycle. With inbounds, it's a bit different because they have the problem. They are like problem where they are already interested in the thing that you're selling, and because you're building a personal brand, you are also they connect with you emotionally because you don't just post business stuff, but you also post where are you eating, what do you do on your free time. So then they resonate with you on an emotional level, you know.
Okay, and I'm a starter right now. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to begin. And I need to build a personal brand, but I also don't know which business model I have. And I see everyone is making 10K a month right now online, and it's really easy, but I cannot figure it out. What would you say to me? Because you've been there. You
Yeah.
actually lived that from all the mental beliefs that were brought up on you. And again, like watch the previous podcast where we really dove deep into that.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say to me? What are the practical things that I can do besides the beliefs to just start doing something that actually works?
Good question. I think the easiest way to do, there are two ways, I would say, or three. I would say these are like the third one is the hardest one, which is the one that I picked. But like, let's start fresh. You're a newbie and you're just like very, very driven. You can just choose something that you like, which can be a skill or it can be a business opportunity. It can be trading. It can be whatever. Let's stick to you like running ads, plain as day, super easy like to talk about, and then you can message everyone that you see doing ads, and you're like, I am incredibly driven and I would like to learn from you, and someone eventually can take you and like mentor you. There are people that are willing to do that if they see that you're like super super hungry to learn. So that's number one. The number two, the second way would be, I believe, outreach. And it can be just reaching out to your parents, and then they have a friend that has a different, like some sort of business, and you just help them for a very low fee or for free. And you just start, and let's say you get three, four, five, and you finally get like some experience under your wing, and then you're not going to be that newbie anymore. So there's a second way, I would say.
And the third way, the hard way that you did?
It's through showing your expertise online and just posting as much as you can. And it takes a little bit of trying to fake it till you make it, because I was posting Google Ads content, but I was not having that many clients. I was having like one or two clients that I was working for free, and I was having an incredible imposter syndrome, that those bigger people, when they were coming to me to want to work with me, they were I was not having the experience. And when I was charging more money, I was feeling like an imposter because I was still not knowing what I was doing, but I was showing myself on X like an expert. And I just faked it till I made it. And I was putting a lot of care into those clients. And that really helped a lot, because people like to work with people that they love. But I would say, going back to this is the third way, and it's the hardest way, in my opinion.
But there is also something that you slip through that's really important if you apply all three of them.
Interesting. Yes, that's a
You
very
know,
good point.
you know
That's a
what I'm
very
gonna
good point.
say?
Yeah, go for it.
People like to work with people who care.
Yes,
In the third one,
100%.
you had a brand build up, and based on that brand, you were the expert. But you actually cared about giving your clients results, and you actually cared about doing good for them.
Yeah,
And that's sometimes that's just a gut feeling people will sense. And that's something you need to do for all three of them, even if it's outreach. And when it is outreach, of course, you have cold outreach to a dozen of people on LinkedIn or Instagram
or
or through
email,
like
Facebook, cold calling them, knocking on their door, whatever it is.
yeah. And if you knock on doors, go to a place with fancy doors. They probably have businesses.
Yeah.
Or they're doctors and they tell you you're sick. But
Yeah.
okay, but then you got your first couple of clients.
Yeah.
And how much did you make then?
So I started Twitter on 16 October 2023. I still remember the day. And I was working in an agency doing Google Ads and Facebook ads. And after 3 months of posting consistently, I was fired first from that job because I was a terrible employee because I was putting a lot more attention into the content and not being that focused on the job. And after I quit, I doubled down on that opportunity, which was a risk because I was in a foreign country trying to pay rent and I was not knowing if I'm going to make it to the next month. But after 3 months of starting on Twitter, I signed my first 3 clients, which were giving me like 1.6K in a month. So after 3 months of just posting consistently, 1.6K just like that. And those were really good money for me at the time because I never made that much in a month.
And then from the 1.6K
Yeah.
up to the over-exaggerated freelancer, what did it take?
I knew I had the principle of double down on what's working. So I saw that Twitter works. And then I was like, I'm going to give more value. I'm going to learn more. And I just triple down on that opportunity and I got more clients. And eventually, because I was so active on Twitter, I engaged with so many other guys that were having SEO agencies, email agencies, ads agencies, and I befriend them. I just gave them my own clients and they signed with them. And as a thank you, they were sending me their clients. And eventually I started to build a network and I just grew to like 7, 8K as a Google Ads guy. And eventually I switched the field, as I told you before starting the podcast.
Yeah, so actually through building up a network and referrals.
Yes.
How do you build a network like that? It's
It's
how do you refer your first client and like how did that work? Did they first gave you a client or recommended you? You first recommended them or like how did that contact?
Okay, practical thing. Step number one, you just find someone that you fuck with on Twitter and you just like them. That's number one. Two, you comment on their post genuinely and you don't fake it and you just spit out value and be like congratulate them for their achievement or for the good post that they have. And over time you're building some sort of report. After a couple of days, let's say, he follows back, he does the same because some people will do, some people will not do that. Then you just message them and be like, let's connect. Like, you seem like a very genuine, cool guy. And then you just hop on a call and you don't want to just be like, hey, let's send each other clients. Just try to be curious and just be friendly. And that's all. Like, just get to know them. Ask like, so how is your life? So what is your story? What do you like to do? And this is just being a genuine human being and like genuinely be curious, care about them. And once you build that report, you continue commenting on their posts, and eventually, let's say that you will get a client or he will get a client, and he will send it either he will send it to you or you will send it to them, and then they, as a thank you, they will send all of their clients to you because you start to build trust with them that you genuinely care, and you eventually start to become very good friends. And what I like to do, I go and I meet with them on a 2-week basis online, like 15-minute call, and I'm like, how are you doing? It's just catching up, and like it's just like having a beer with a friend for like 15 minutes in between your work. And what happened, which is very cool, once I came in Bali, I met a lot of those guys here because it happened for a couple of them to be here, and it was one of the wildest things ever. I'm from Romania, and I met people from like Australia and Sweden, Norway, whatever it is. We met here, and we just vibe. Like,
How was that? Like because they've seen you grow from the ad guy who just got to 10K to where you are right now, and how are they doing? Like how was that first contact in real life?
that was a genuine feeling. Like, I was like, I cannot believe that this is real. I made a friend through internet, and nowadays that's more common than it used to be. And it it feels very good to, I was very picky and very careful with who I was engaging because I wanted to hop with them on a call and understand what are their goals. If they think long term, if they're like, oh, I'm just gonna hop around for a business, but they're gonna be like, I'm gonna do this, and I saw how they were putting in the work, and I referred my clients to them because I saw that they were genuine and they literally cared about the business. Um,
And also I think that's a good one for people to understand as well. When you refer your clients, don't think, oh, I just refer my clients for a commission or for anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, refer them because you genuinely believe that they are good. because what you're doing then, that's like a mental framework. You borrow authority.
Exactly.
If they have a good experience with the referral that you gave them, they will bind that good experience to you, and you
100%.
become even a bigger authority. So don't just referral people because, but
Just for the money, like don't do that. I there are many times, like very rare times, where I charge money for my referrals. There are many times where I just send them clients just because I wanted my partners to succeed and I wanted my clients to succeed, because guess what happens if someone gets a really good SEO agency or marketing agency? They will grow, and they will remember that you're the guy that sent them that guy, and you also deliver good work for them. So then it's like a snowball effect that happens, and you just keep growing and growing because you're genuine and genuinely care about the clients, you know?
yeah. But now I'm self-sabotaging myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you do?
because
Why are you sabotaging yourself?
Twitter, it's an over-exaggerated market. Why should I build my personal brand now? There.
I don't believe in saturation.
Cool.
I believe in
Dive into that. Like I was just playing
yeah,
someone like you know now, but like
yeah. So you're I personally don't believe in saturation. I believe that if you are you can look at other people what they are posting, but I believe if you're genuinely authentic and you just post your thoughts and not just everything made with AI, because people can recognize that. Obviously you can help yourself to build more ideas, but I believe if you're authentic, you stand out. And if you genuinely put more value out than other people, you stand out. And if you do it long enough, because that's a key word, if you do it long enough, you can become one of the best in the industry. Doesn't matter what industry it is. If you do it for long enough, 10 years, if you think long term and you just do one thing, you're gonna succeed no matter what.
okay, and now I want to break down a buzzword.
Yeah.
Authenticity. Be authentic.
Yeah.
Everyone throws it around, but how can we define that? Can we define be authentic for the psychopaths like myself who want to work in frameworks and want to understand like authenticity? What is that?
This goes a bit deeper. I think it's generally accepting at the core your good and bad sides, and then allowing yourself to express all of that without caring about what other people will say, and expressing that directly. In this case, would be with uh, like just sharing it on social media. I think if I can distill that, is just accepting yourself, good and bad, imperfections, because we are all imperfect, and then expressing that without any fear.
I think you actually nailed the definition there.
This is something like I'm definitely not gonna say that I have moments where I've been working a lot on how to be authentic as a like in my personal life and in my business, and it's been a journey, and it takes guts to go from being afraid what your parents are gonna say, what your friends are gonna say, in order to express that. So there is at the core, I think there is acceptance, and then just practically just doing the work that I just said, which is posting content. It can be reaching out, knocking on doors, whatever it is.
It remembers me of a line from you know Eminem, right?
Yeah.
He has this. I don't know. I think it's Slim Shady, but I'm not sure. In this song, he has this. We I just say things. You joke around with your friends inside of your living, but I joke about the things you say with friends inside your living room. The only difference is I got the balls to say it in front of y'all and not to be false to sugarcoat it all. And like, I think that it reminds me of that line.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. And also Eminem, he was dissing himself in when he was having rap battles. He was dissing himself, and then the other guy that was dissing him, he had nothing against him because he was just like, "Oh, I'm like this," and I'm like, whatever he was saying.
That's like
Then,
8 Mile, right? In the movie of Eminem, like 8 Mile.
yeah,
And then the final battle, he was like, "Yeah, I'm white. Yeah, I'm white trash.
yeah.
Yeah, he fucked with my girl," and like all that kind of shit. And then
The other guy had nothing to respond to, and I think that holds also a lesson, acceptance, because he was just, yeah, I'm like that. What you gonna do about
yeah, I don't know. It's just you
You see?
said that. I was like, things you joke about with your friends inside your living room. The only difference is I got the balls to say it in front of y'all and not to be false to sugarcoat it at all. I just gonna mic it, spit it.
Fuck yeah,
It's,
Eminem. Fuck yeah.
I
Yeah.
just like I love Eminem, man. That's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, to go on. So be authentic. Um, have the balls to get on the mic and spit it, whether you like to admit it
Or not. Yeah.
or not. Just do it,
Just
and
doing it.
in that way build your personal brand. Then at some point, I remember from the last podcast that we had, you pictured a really specific moment where you were driving in the car, you were making good money,
You remember.
and yeah, like I don't know, it was such a nice picture you drawn out there, that you were sitting in the car and like, I don't like what I'm doing. You did not like Google Ads anymore,
Yeah.
and then you pivoted.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And also you brought a really good point. So I'm gonna reply to this question in a second, but first I want to say something. I loved Google Ads in the past, and then I before starting I thought that I'm gonna like it. And we are young and we are able to pivot things at any time. So let's say you pursue an opportunity and then you see that it's not for you anymore. It's all right to step back and change. There is no shame around that. So going back to this, I was driving in the car, as I was explaining in the previous podcast, and I realized that I don't like Google Ads anymore after a couple months. So then I started to look at all the things that I love, and I love designs, I love websites, I love marketing, I love psychology. And I was like, if I love this so much, what can I do? So I started to write things on a piece of paper until I got down to the fact that CRO, because I heard it from a friend, and then I saw it on YouTube. I saw how interesting that is. So then I was like, I think that is for me. So then I started pursuing that.
What is CRO?
Good question. So for the people that do not know, CRO stands for conversion rate optimization. It is basically making more money from the same traffic that you have on your site. Let's say that for the ecom guys, if you have 100,000 visitors coming to your site and you make $1 million a month, and you improve their conversion rate by a small percent, now you're going to make 1.1 million a month, but you're going to spend the same money on ads, and suddenly you have 100K more, which gives you more money, more profits, and you can reinvest in, you can either cash out, put more money in your pocket, or you can reinvest more into inventory, into ads. And it's honestly one of the lifesavers of running an e-commerce business. And not only e-com, software, info product, like they do A/B testing. In order to improve your conversion rate, you have to A/B test everything. So this is what it stands for in a nutshell, and is one of the key foundations in order to grow a successful business online, which is conversion rate optimization.
If 100 people walk into your store, but they're not the right people and they don't like what they're seeing, they're not going to buy. So what you're literally doing is you build out a porcelain closet with all the nice shoes and all the shiny objects that all the 100 people in the store want to buy. And then all of a sudden, 100 people walk into your store and 99 of them want to buy because your store looks way better.
Exactly.
That's conversion rate optimization.
Exactly. If you would compare this to a brick and mortar store, let's say that everyone I think knows about Walmart or Target. So let's say that they analyze what's being bought the most in the last couple months. This is called, this is called merchandising. So let's say that they see that a lot of people are buying gummy bears. So if they see that in the last 365 days, gummy bears were like, everyone was just hyped about them, or like a specific soda, like Prime was. Obviously, they are going to take the Prime and they are going to put it in the first thing, like right in the front of other products, so more people will see that. This is how Prime is going to get even more sales, and it's going to help them grow and like make even a lot more money.
It's funny that you said gummy bears though.
Why?
Because I remember at some point it was like literally a vibe or a trend. I don't know, it was 2017 or something, where people had like this giant gummy bear. or some
I,
no?
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. Everything was, and girls had like gummy bear earrings, and
It was a trend.
I don't
Anyway,
know what was up with that.
I
I don't just
I don't know.
just remind me of that. I'm like, wow, gummy bears were a trend.
It
That's
was just
such a specific thing. How did you come up with that?
I don't know. It was just the first thing that came into my mind. But anyway,
It's
it's that principle. Like
yeah,
going back to CRO.
yeah. So the thing that's in, the thing that's working, do more of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And how did you pivot? How was that pivot? Because you had a good business.
Yeah, I was
You
a glorified freelancer, so to say.
yeah. And how did you pivoted that to an actual business?
Hmm. First, I partner up with someone. This is a key thing. There are people that will do better alone, but most people actually do better when they partner up with someone that they have the same vision and values. This is very important. Alignment with your partner, with your business partner on vision and values, and making sure that you guys are like you trust each other like brothers. And then he was very technical. I was more oriented on marketing and sales and design and psychology. And we were a perfect match from that side. He loved systems. He didn't like, being seen that much and like more staying in the shadows. I was the total opposite. Just I love being the face of the company. It was a really good match. If you guys,
How did you met him?
in university,
Oh yeah, you told in the last podcast you told us.
yeah, yeah. His name is Alex. He's incredible. And going back to this, how I pivoted it was just kept doing Google Ads for just some clients that I really liked working with, and they were low maintenance. And I asked all my network, family, friends, Twitter. I made an announcement. I posted on Instagram. I posted everywhere. Hey, I'm switching to CRO. If you know anyone that needs these kind of services, hit me up. And in that day, funny enough, there is a huge influencer that was doing Google Ads, like a competitor of mine, but like 5 times bigger than me. And he never followed me, texted me, liked on all my posts, never. He reached out to me and be like, I have a client for you. 5 days later, signed the first client, high ticket client. Next, 3 days later, I got another one from a referral. Then the next one, another referral. So first month, we hit 10K in 1 month, and just by me posting everywhere, hey, I'm switching to CRO. So it's leveraging personal brand and the network that I've built to just sign clients through referral. So it's kind of like the same principle as I said. Just ask your mother, your father, or whoever somewhere in your network for clients. And this is how we started. This is how we hit our first 10K. And then, because we didn't know what we were doing, we heavily obsessed on providing a lot of value to those clients. And we were very serious about it. We just didn't want to just sign clients after clients. We wanted to grow slow and make sure that we build an actually really good product. So that was it. This is how we got to 10K.
And now for this is for all the ecom guys here, or for all the people that are conversion rate
Optimization, yeah.
Obsessed.
Okay.
Say that 10 times in a row, and you will get a headache. Conversion rate optimization obsessed. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like how do you start analyzing? What do you do? What frameworks? What techniques? What do you use to increase your conversion rate? And when does it make sense to
Good
do it?
question. I think so. Let's talk a little bit about e-commerce in general. In the beginning, you don't have a product market fit. You don't know if that product is going to work. So you just do your best making a decent looking website, but focus on images and copywriting. And the most important is offer. These are the three key levers. The I would say the foundational stones in order to make 50, 100, 150, 200, 300, 500K. It's having a really good offer that is very enticing, and people are literally gonna feel stupid saying no. The next one is
Define a good offer. Just so you know, I'm gonna do that with the other two factors as well.
so define a really good offer. Do you want me to give you examples?
Yeah, sure.
A really good offer. There are many ways on how to do a really good offer. It can be you get a free gift with the purchase. You get multiple gifts with your purchase. You can get a discount if you buy a subscription, and you get all these other freebies. The next one can be tiered discount. So if you buy 2, you get 1 for free, 1 product for free. If you buy 5, you get 2 for free, or you get like a certain discount. Another very good offer that helped a couple of our clients scale was buy 1 get 1 free. Buy exactly, it's just BOGO. Or it's a really good offer can also be frame it's really matters how you frame a really good offer. Instead of saying you save 30% off this week, let's say you're running a flash sale, you say 100, you save $100, and you do the math for them. That actually can be, you just change the frame, but it's literally the same thing, the same discount, but you just show to people that you save $100 instead of 30%.
I know that. Have you read the new book of Alex Ramosi?
Yes.
Money Models.
Yeah.
There they have like this example as well, that if you package things, for example, you sell a T-shirt and the T-shirt is the value of $10.
Yeah.
And then you can get 2 for 1, or you can increase volume. So instead of you buy one T-shirt, you get one T-shirt free. One T-shirt has the value of $10, but one pair of socks has the value of $5. So if you buy one T-shirt, you get 2 pair of socks.
Yeah.
Then you give them the same value, but the volume increases, and that's why people think they get more.
Exactly. So you're
that's
stacking up value. This is what I think, going back to your question, define a really good offer. I think this is a really good example. And it's, in a nutshell, in one word, is making sure the value it's there. If the customer feels like they get value for their bucks, they are going to buy. And another example of a really good offer, it's bundles. So we were having a client, he was selling socks. I cannot say the name of the client, but he was selling.
Just to clarify, to be a client of his, you need to make at least how much?
Not in money. The revenue doesn't matter that much. It's more about how much traffic do you have, because conversion optimization is based on statistics. So if you want to be a client of and actually do A/B testing, you need to have at least 100K monthly sessions on your website.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
just
for
to clar-
more
just for
context. For more
clarify
context, yeah.
for context, it's good to know that, because else it does not make that much sense what we're gonna say.
Yeah.
But for now, 100K in traffic towards your website.
Yeah.
You had a client sell socks,
Yeah.
no name.
Exactly.
Go on.
So he was having an average order value, average basket value of $55. Now, what we did A/B tested his offer.
Wait, yeah, I don't know if. There you go.
So, cutting up, let's start. So, this guy, he was selling one pair of socks. They were compression socks. They were having some health benefits, and he was selling them for $55. Then we.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good? Okay. So, going back to this. So, this guy was selling compression socks for $55 each. And then we made the bundle of 3-pack for $75-ish, and or I think it was like 80. And then if nothing changed, his ads didn't change, nothing changed, but eventually overnight, with that A/B test, his conversion rate increased, and we offered the discount, because right now you can see technically that product costs, like, if they would buy 3, there would be like $160 something. And now they get everything for 75. He still had margins, like really good margins, even with that price point for three pairs. And boom, overnight, he increased his conversion rate, increased his profit just by changing the offer. And this is how we help them scale from 400K a month to $1 million a month in a span of, I think it was like 8 months.
Sick.
That's incredible. Yeah.
That's sick.
And it's literally the same. It also increased his profit margin from 3% to 20%.
So they did not even increase in revenue, they also increased in profit.
Exactly. So it's increased in revenue and profit while scaling, which this is a common issue for many e-com brands. Once you scale, they lose margin. And it's okay. But this is why conversion rate is so important, because it optimizes your profit as well.
Okay, so that's the one leverage point for conversion rate. What's offer? What's the second?
The second offer is good images and good offer. Not good. So the other is good images and good copy. So copywriting, which is something that you're doing at the moment.
Yeah, I think I can say I'm a decent copywriter at the moment for ecom. Let's define again.
Yeah.
Define a good image. So why do most ecom brands not scale, or why do most companies or etc. within CRO not scale? And what does a good image need? Like, what is a good image? and what is good copy?
Okay, essentially at the core, if you zoom out a little bit, good image, it's a very vague word, but at the core, it stands for understanding your ideal customer super, super well. If you sell luxury stuff, you can keep the photos pretty blank. You don't have to add that many details into your photos and make it like with a lot of banners or like flashy benefits or social proof. You don't have to do that. But if you sell a product if you know that that avatar is not on the higher end, you might need to specify all of the benefits in the photos in the copy. So good copy and images, it's very subjective because at the end you have to really understand psychology and understand your customer, what are their pain points and desires, and then tailoring that accordingly.
And you told me as well that when you do research, like when you just onboard a new client, you do like 40 hours of research for every client that you onboard.
Yes.
And one of them is forms, so asking them questions, surveys,
Yeah.
and literally doing interviews with clients, like literally one-on-one interviews, right?
Yeah, that's another source of that's like qualitative data. It's like trying to understand from a human perspective why the site is not converting as they should. What are the problems that they faced? Maybe they didn't knew about the money back guarantee. Maybe they didn't knew how much the shipping costs, or maybe the shipping was too expensive. So they have problems.
And do you, because I know, and maybe I give you a gold nugget here or not,
Go for it.
We'll see. Do you also, of course, record those calls?
Yeah.
And that transcripts, do you use that data for your copywriting? Because
this is gold, honestly. This is gold. So I would highly recommend any e-com brand just email your customers and get them on a call and just ask them questions. You will be surprised of how much success you're gonna find after making a couple iterations with the suggestions that you're getting from your customers.
And I know that that's what I learned from my mentor. That's why I'm asking this. You write the best copy when you write in the language of your customer.
Bingo.
So when you do like those calls with your clients or when you do those surveys, you literally get their language. I know I was on a call with a mentor of mine, and we recorded the transcript of a call for agencies, because with my own company, we also want to focus on agencies because they most often has, like I do an AI agency.
Exactly.
So we optimize all kinds of workflows, processes to save time, cut overhead, and in that way make people more money.
Exactly.
To
save time,
yeah, cut overhead, make more money, keep it easy.
Yeah.
And then we had a call with a potential prospect, and then we had a call with the mentor. It's like, did you record that call? I'm like, yeah, of course we did record that call.
Nice.
It's like, okay, but if I look at your website right now, I don't think this is in the right language of your client. So get that transcript of the call
and improve your copy.
And improve the copy, or because the copywriting on the main website and the landing page right now is more focused on mass market. So we have a broader approach there.
Be specific.
I know. And or make a separate page specifically for agencies.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like be hyper specific. Speak to one person. That's I think something that I learned from my copywriting training.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the copywriting that I do is for the biggest coach in the Netherlands. Like he sells dropshipping courses.
Nice.
And that's highly mass market.
Yeah.
So that's like I learn how to write copy for mass market. That's a really specific skill.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started doing the copywriting for the websites and everything, I didn't learn yet how to transition that to a specific style of copywriting. Of course, it's just the same principles, just like phrased differently. That's why it's copywriting. But yeah, third key point that you look at with your company.
Say that again.
Third key point. You had images and copywriting. You had offer.
No, those were two.
Those were two.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just
let's keep to the main story of this.
Yeah, because okay, so those were the three key points when it comes to onboarding a client and doing the CRO. Then you got your first 10K.
Yes.
You learned from that.
Yeah.
And then you scaled from 10 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
How was that journey?
Okay.
How was that journey from 10 to 20?
It was, I think, going from 10 to 20 And then from 20 to 30, that was the hardest one ever. Like, I think 10 to 30 was the hardest one by all means. Okay, so I had again the same principle, which is just do what works and just double down on what works. And I always had the same principle. If something's works, just double, triple down on that. So I doubled down on content. And eventually we got to a point where we got so much work that I didn't necessarily prioritize content anymore. So we scaled, we got to 20, and we had to hire people. That was a different skill set that we never have like I didn't have experience. And then that's when a fuckload of mistakes came in. We did quality assurance. We had quality assurance issues. We hired the wrong people that were not aligned with our values and vision. We hired unskilled people just because we were on a rush to hire so we can deliver for the clients. And those mistakes costed us a lot of time, energy, and money. And I deprioritized acquisition, which is one of the toughest learnings, like one of the toughest. What should I say here? So stopping posting content was one of the biggest mistakes that I made, because eventually I had a dry pipeline, and if you have a dry pipeline, you're very vulnerable as a company. You're very unstable. If a client leaves, and eventually clients can leave, even if you deliver a good service, something can happen externally. War can happen, economy can flop, and you just don't know. So if you have a dry pipeline, you are very unstable as a business. We were hiring people, and eventually, because I stopped acquisition, I was not signing clients for months. And that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made, I think. And I learned that lesson. And ever since I learned that, I understood that you always need to have leads in your pipeline, and you always need to keep selling and selling and selling. And that got us, that was like a quick rundown of how we got from like 10 to like 50 now. That is the foundational thing, is always have sales calls, always do content, always be and do marketing, and just nobody knows about you, you know, so they have
How,
to.
how do you balance out good
Oof,
delivery,
this is a good question.
good delivery with still getting in clients?
Systems, it's systems for everything. And I think this is where you come in with automations, is having systems for, initially we started with delivery, like having a systemized way on how we do the design, systemized way on how we develop the A/B tests, systemized way of QAing, and making sure that we have checklists and SOPs for employees so that they know what to do. And once we had those systems, we finally had more free time to focus on not just on burning problems, but also on opportunities. So it's systems.
Okay, systems.
Yeah.
So literally the trick from 10 to 50 was systems, SOPs, checklists, and balancing that out with acquisition.
Exactly. So just making sure that you hire the right people and you have a systemized way of delivering good quality service. So this is why it's so good to have two people in your company, like two founders, or maybe just hiring a really person that is very dedicated to what you want to do, and allowing him to help you with the day-to-day. If you're a visionary, if you're a person that is more oriented to the marketing, you want to let someone else take care of the day-to-day, and you focus on what you're doing best.
And this is something I struggle personally with. I have my vision, I have my marketing vision, I have my sales thing that I'm working on, and then you have operations and the systems. But from my perspective, I can give a lot of inputs to operations because I know what's happening and I know what needs to operate. But sometimes it feels like I'm giving more inputs that I'm getting support within the role that I have, from managing leadership and like the marketing and the sales part. How do you balance that out? How does that work in the dynamic that you have?
Oh, that's a very good one. From what you told me, it seems like you're right now doing so many things. You're wearing all the hats, or like a lot of the hats. I think one of the things that we did was defining clear responsibilities to each role, and then knowing what hats you like to wear, and then forcing yourself to do those and then allowing other people to do the others. That's like defining clear responsibilities and then just following those and then sticking with those. This created so much clarity. Like I after that, I knew that I like marketing, sales, and I didn't like to be on the day-to-day. Boom. Now I know that I shouldn't be focusing that much on the day-to-day, and I should leave Alex that likes to be in the shadow, likes to take care of the day-to-day, to focus on those. And then eventually I just hyper focused on my clear responsibilities. And because I was finally focusing on acquisition, we were able to scale.
If people, because I know we're going to get kicked out soon, we were already kind of getting kicked out. If people want to follow up with you and if people want to find more value, because you just said you post a lot of content and you share a lot of value there, where can they find you?
So they can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter as Andrei Breha. And
I will also put it in the description.
Yes.
And there you post content about CRO, how to
about
improve.
Mindset, about what went wrong in our business, what are the key mistakes that we've made. But overall, CRO, e-commerce stuff. And if you just want to like give me a heads up if you like this kind of videos, I think I will meet with you more often.
And we're gonna have a second podcast or a third one.
Yes.
When you hit 100K or a mil a month. Let's see.
Yeah.
Or both in the same month. First 100, then a mil, like just like that.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. See you, bro.
Right. See you, bro. Ciao.